Most of you know the incidents before the birth of Sri Ramakrishna, which led to his birth. His father went to do Shraddha for the ancestors in Gaya. This kind of Shraddha is a very long affair. It continues for days and even a month to do the full thing at Gaya. You do Shraddha for 21 generations, both in the paternal side and the maternal side. Very, very long affair. So during one of these days, his father had a dream that his Ishtadevata Ramachandra had appeared before him, and Ramachandra said, "I would like to be born as your child. I am very much pleased with your devotion." His father, Khudiram, replied that, "Please do not do it. I am a very poor Brahmin. I cannot take good care of you." And Ramachandra replied that, "I have decided to be born as your child, so don't object to it, and I shall be happy with whatever you give me." On the other side, in Kamarpukur, very near their home, there is a tiny Shiva temple belonging to the Jugi caste. Jugis were a very influential sect in India. Millions of Indians belong to the Jugi sect once. So this is a Jugi Shiva temple. And his mother Chandra was standing in front of this temple when she found that a kind of luminous fog has arrived in this temple, and from the inside of the temple it was growing in volume and came towards her and encircled her, and she fell on the ground. Some village lady saw it and carried her home. After a few weeks, she began to feel that she had conceived a child. When the husband returned from Gaya, and this happened, this dream at Gaya, towards the end of March or April in 1835. So after his return from Gaya, he learned about this from his wife, and he consoled his wife, saying that, "Don't be afraid, I had such a dream, so maybe some great soul would be born to us." Now the boy was born on 18th of February according to English calendar in 1836, and according to Bengali calendar 17th February, because he was born before sunrise. The most interesting thing about the whole your birth of Sri Ramakrishna is that it is almost contemporary to another event, that is Lord Macaulay's minutes on education. Lord Macaulay addressed the Parliament, British Parliament, in February 1835 regarding his plan to bring the reform in education through English medium. His idea was to crush the pride and the prestige which Indians felt about the Sanskrit culture, because he argued before the parliamentarians that with such pride and prestige you cannot sufficiently subjugate a nation. So Swami Saradananda in his biography calls the effort of Macaulay as a centrifugal force. And the advent of Sri Ramakrishna is a centripetal force. That means the two forces came into existence simultaneously. Anyhow, the boy, when he was 6 years old, he took puffed rice in the fold of his dhoti and was munching it and walking along the path between two rice fields. And at that time, there was a cumulus cloud in the sky, and against the background of the sky, he saw a flock of white cranes flying. The contrast was very enchanting, and he looked at it with great attention, and due to this great attention, he had a kind of samadhi, and he fell on the field. Some villager found out the boy and took him home. Within months of this incident, his father, while on a visit to a relative in the Midnapur district, died there. Death of the father cast a gloom on the family, and it affected also the child, who was named Gadadhar, or for short Godai. Now, but he was not to give any expression to his shock, lest his mother would be troubled. And he became more reflective, and he began to see the contrast between his father's character and the character of other Brahmins, who were learning just for earning something, money. So, more than a year after his first samadhi, a group of village ladies were thinking of going to a deity in a nearby village called Anur. And this boy wanted to accompany them, and they agreed. So while on the way, Gadai was singing and was merrymaking, but suddenly he fell unconscious. And the ladies were in a fix. They thought that it is a sunstroke. They brought water, they began to fan the boy. But one lady had the intuition that it may be a possession by the deity they would visit, that is Vishalakshi. She began to repeat the name of Vishalakshi in the ears of the boy, and the boy gradually came back to his normal state. So this is his second samadhi in his childhood. Now he was approaching the end of his ninth anniversary, and the beginning of his ninth anniversary. So before that, there is Shivaratri, and he was doing, after proper fasting, in the Shivaratri ceremony. In the evening, the puja of the first quarter of the night was finished, when some villagers approached him, saying that there is a village jatra, that means theatre, where the person earmarked for playing the role of Shiva had fallen sick. So he should go quickly to take the role of Shiva. He had much hesitation because he was in the midst of a puja. But the villagers are good that while doing this role, playing this role, you have to constantly think of Shiva, so it is equivalent to puja. So then he agreed. The boy was dressed up as Shiva and went to the stage, but became completely motionless and fixed. He had entered into Samadhi. So this was his third Samadhi, and these repeated Samadhis perturbed the family. They thought that it is certainly a kind of disease, and to release the pressure on the mind of the boy, they allowed him, that you can, they say that you can go to school as and when you like, and you learn whatever you want to like. So this boy took the full advantage of this license. His main attention was acting and singing, and he was doing this with his friends in the mango grove. But his other interests were also clay modeling and painting, which he began to learn from the villages. Now, the theme of his plays were mainly drawn from the epics, from the Puranas, and from the stories connected with Tarakeshwara Shiva, with Madan Mohan of Balavishnupur, of Yogadhya of Burdwan. So these were his themes generally. And when he became 13 years old, his eldest brother left the village to establish a Sanskrit school in Calcutta. So he became guardianless and had tremendous liberty now. So very soon he created a Jatra party, that means a theatre group. You see, he became the leader of the group, and he was doing all these things not for commercial purpose, but for his own entertainment, out of passion. This was his passion. So for 3 years he continued like this and became a sort of expert in these things. You see, when his eldest brother again returned for a vacation to the village and saw all these things and was very worried about the future of the boy. You see, that means he was neglecting his studies, and he was worried that how he would earn his livelihood, you see, without any study. So he took him to Calcutta and thought that, you see, that he would study in his school. But there also he showed that he was willing to do pujas in different homes, but he would not study. You see. So he was scolded one day severely. The boy replied firmly that he was not interested in that kind of education which makes a man perfect in bundling up rice and banana. It was a dig at the profession of the priests, because priests receive rice and banana and they bundle up rice and banana after the pujas. So this is the first part of his life, and morning shows the day, and this was, you see, his rich personality. Apart from him, during his sadhana, he became, you see, to have transcendental knowledge, you see, and he did sadhana in various ways. But his rich personality, singing, dancing, mimicking, all these things, you see, he developed at this time. In Dakshineshwar, you see, on the wall, he painted once a sheep going by the river and a parrot on a fruit tree, which these two things have been reproduced by the artist Nandalal Bose in cement in the Purulia Ramakrishna Mission school premises. You see. So this colorful personality, you see, has his beginning in his early life. So that is very important, his early life in this respect. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you all.